Hey, how you doing? Um, I wanted to share some things regarding the Bible and science. Now, if you're like me and you went to school and they told you that the science was way out in front of the Bible, and that when you compare the two, that the Bible is not accurate. I'm sure you've heard this stuff before. Well, I have a different point of view, having read the Bible. Many of the people that tell us what the Bible says haven't actually read it. And so I'd just like to, I'm going to do a series of these, and this is the first one. And I'm so being the first, I'm going to the book of Genesis, chapter 1. It says this: In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Verse 3. And God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So, kind of interesting. Let's skip down to the fourth day. Um, Verse 14. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let there be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And so it was. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. Verse 17. And God set in the firmament of the heaven to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So perhaps at this point you're wondering, okay, so what? Just bear with me for a moment. If this, in fact, this first book of the Bible, we're told that it was written by Abraham. Historically, that's what scientists and scholars believe. Now, that being said, Abraham was in the Stone Age. And in that time, it was believed that the light emanated from one place, from the sun. So we see on the fourth day, it says that God set, verse 16, God made two great lights, the greater to rule the day and the lesser to rule the night. I think that's pretty easy to see that what they're speaking of. Don't take my word for it. Check your own Bible. It says the same thing. Or just different translation can say it differently, but it's the same import. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Now, let us go back for a second to verse 3. And God said, Let there be light, and there was light. So on the first day, we have God creating light. On the fourth day, according to Stone Age man, God made the sun and the moon. Okay? Day 1, light. Day 4, the sun. Stone Age man believed that the sun was the source of all light. So this person that wrote this was eons ahead of science. There was no science as we know it when these words were penned. So my point here is either this gentleman was an absolute genius or it was inspired by God, as we Christians believe. I'd also like to point out that in the early 1970s, NASA scientists made a startling discovery. You know, they sent out a spacecraft called Voyager just to radio back information to the Earth. They made this discovery, as I said, in the early 1970s, that light exists in space. They don't know where it's coming from, why it exists in space like that, or where it's going to. They just know it's there. That's modern science. It's 20th century science, and it really hasn't changed. They still know that it's like this. It exists in space. Now check this out. They don't know where it's coming from. Well, my friends, let's look at verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. I think it's pretty obvious. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this. Please click like, follow me, and hit if you subscribe and you click on the little bell, you can be notified when I post more stuff. I'm going to be doing more of these analysis of science in the Bible. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. God bless.